Yes.
That's the voice.
Yes.
The most insane man on TV, ladies and gentlemen, in the most brilliant way. He finds a great way to help you better yourself, improve yourself by basically dealing with reality. The one and only Jon Taffer is back, ladies and gentlemen. Ball rescue! Ball rescue! How you been, John?
Great, man. I haven't seen you since the big movie debut, and it was great to see you. And it's been what, 6 months?
6 months. He saw Death Wish, DB.
Oh, yeah.
It was great, man.
We were talking in the hallway about his last time here, and he was giving me the advice about the ass kissing and how to like progress in the industry. So he was laughing. He didn't know that we actually made a segment about it. So he was. I don't know if you have any more advice about anything along those lines.
Well, he says he's not an ass kiss anymore.
Who said that?
You say he's not an ass kiss anymore.
What made you say that?
Remember last time we had the exchange because you said, "Yo, what would you say to DB about what he needs to do to progress?" And he was like, "Are you an ass kisser?" And I said, "Shit." So,
oh yeah, okay. Oh, I remember that. I remember that. Remember that when Jon Taffer came up here and this happened.
So he comes up
in the morning, where we found out bar consultant Jon Taffer is good at sniffing out brown nosers.
Well, this is DB, man. I thought maybe you could ask him a few questions, see if you can get to know him and see how great you do.
Hit me.
All right, this is the Jon Taffer Late Night Talk Show.
So DB, you work really hard, man.
Oh, I do.
Are you after the money or something else?
Something else. To aspire to be great, just like my man Sway and Heather B.
So you're a real kiss ass, then, is what you're saying, pretty much.
If ass needs to be kissed, I am the man.
Because it only took a second for you to put your nose all the way up his, right?
All the way up his butt funnel.
I got you, man.
I know I said butt funnel. Jesus.
So y'all talked about this in the hallway today.
Yeah, so we did. So the first thing he says to me is, "I'm not an ass kiss anymore." So I got to ask you, because I think we got to really put this out there in the term.
Okay.
So is he kissing your ass less today than he did 6 months ago?
I don't know. My ass been so clean from all that kissing, I don't even check.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you're still doing the kissing.
I don't know. He just explained it like it sounds more like cleaning his ass than kissing it.
Well, when you kiss it enough, it has a cleaning effect. That's what happens.
Okay. Jesus.
Get rid of the residue.
I'm gonna get murdered.
So we got season 6, right? Bar Rescue.
Yeah, we do season 6, and I just did 2 really great episodes. Little John did one with me in Florida, which was really a freaking blast. And what I did is, normally when I do recon, and you're next, buddy.
I'm next. Okay.
I got him on my scope.
Okay.
So Little John, normally I send my Little John in to do recon, and my experts sit in the SUV with me. Well, we flipped it. I sent my experts in, and John sat in the SUV with me. Freaking hysterical scene. And then I went in, started throwing stuff, screaming and yelling, and John's sitting in a car by himself, just hysterical, and the tears are rolling down his face. But it was great, and we've been flipping it and playing around with the format of the show, and it's been great. You're next, buddy.
I'm next, man. I'm ready. Season 7.
Don't you agree? Don't you agree?
Season 7. You should get Heather B, too.
You're a little overdue for a reality show. It's been a little while for you, hasn't it?
Yeah. It's been some time.
So I think having the 2 of you guys do recon would be really a blast.
Ooh, you bring your Heather
I would
B
have
back
you come do recon, but all you're going to do is kiss their ass. So it's not going to work out for us.
Nothing's going to change.
Yeah.
All right.
But then I did something that was really pretty heavy. I went to Puerto Rico and did Operation Rescue.
Ooh, how is it out there? What did you see?
Man.
Because the news cycles aren't reporting the truth, bro.
No, man. I went down there. So I was down there 7 weeks ago. I went down there to rescue a bar and a restaurant. I wound up rescuing a community center, a baseball field, a basketball court, and a bar restaurant. We were there 7 months after the hurricane, and it was like it fucking happened yesterday. It was so sad.
bad. We talked about it today that Hurricane Maria caused a lot more death than people are reporting.
1,400?
Over 1,400 people. Initially, the death rate, they said, was like 64 or something.
Yeah, bullshit.
It's bullshit. And so are we helping Puerto Rico, or what's going on? Are
It's not happening like it should be. You know what was really powerful to me? I'm driving around Puerto Rico, and I'm looking at all of these destroyed buildings, and no different than New Orleans or Houston or any other city. On the sides of all those buildings were American flags, not Puerto Rican flags.
Oh, wow.
Draped on all the destroyed buildings. They don't think of themselves as Puerto Ricans. They think of themselves as Americans. They identified as Americans.
Yes.
Those are American flags. So when you drive through the destroyed towns and the buildings without roofs and the suffering and the pain, and you see those American flags on those buildings, you say, what the fuck? This just doesn't make any sense. So I went down there. Mark Cuban came down with J.J. Berea from the Mavericks to help me do the basketball court. Bernie Williams, Yankee, came down and helped me do the baseball field. Luis Guzman came down, helped me with the community center. Bethany Frankel came down, helped me as well. So I called all my friends. We all came down. It was, man, I cried the whole week I was down this way. It was heavy, man.
How did the people on the island react when they saw you guys there?
They loved the fact that they weren't forgotten.
Yeah.
And we put money in, we built, and I kind of have Home Depot come and give me all the building materials. We couldn't get the supplies down there to do it.
Wow.
I mean, I had to do everything I could to pull it all together. And you'd think they would say, thank you for the building, thank you for the most powerful thing to them was that they weren't forgotten.
They weren't forgotten.
And I had all of these kids on the street playing basketball with potholes in the street. One of them's ankle is all wrapped up, right, because he jumped into a pothole. There's a beautiful basketball court 2 weeks down the street that nobody fixed for these kids. And, baseball is really important to them down there. That's their ticket out. So it was really heavy for me. It was a life-changing experience, man.
Wow, man. Man, I appreciate you for even doing that, man. Jon Taffer, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, man. Are you going to continue to do it, or is it just
Well, I think that whenever we can take our show, a reality show, or the work that you do, and turn it into doing good, we got to do that.
You got to do that, man.
If I can do good and have ratings, that's the home run.
That's the home run, man.
So this has been a powerful experience for me, realizing, okay, I got to realign what I'm doing to have great shows. But the ratings of that episode, there's no screaming and yelling, there's no throwing stuff, because there was no evil person. They got screwed. They weren't the screwer. They were the screwee.
Yeah.
So rated really well, and it showed that you can do a powerful reality show without tension that is meaningful. And if you haven't seen that one, you got to watch it. You'll cry. It's really powerful. But it changed my life, Sway.
Man, Jon Taffer, man. I'm usually ready to run from you. I'm ready to hug you right now. Oh, man, and don't forget 10 p.m. Sunday nights on the Paramount Network on Bar Rescue.
I was going to ask, because we saw you one day. We didn't yell across the street. We saw you coming down the street, and people were saying hi to you, and you were saying hi back. And we were all kind of shocked because we didn't have a chance to meet you yet. But it was like, he's so mean on TV. We didn't know that you were, nice in real life. And I was just wondering, would you ever flip Bar Rescue a little bit more and go into people's homes and redo their bars over for people who have home bars?
I see what she doing.
I got a secret to tell you.
Oh.
I have a new show that I've just signed with the network. I can't tell you too much, but I'll tell you enough to get your eyebrows at least moving around a little bit. I'm going to be working on relationships, not buildings.
Relationships.
Yes.
All right, what do you know about that?
So the premise is I'm not a therapist.
Okay.
I'm not an expert.
Okay.
But I'm fucking good at this.
Yeah.
So I'm really good, and you've seen it on Bar Rescue with those husband and wives who are having those issues, those partners, and every failing business has a failing guy or a failing woman in it.
Yeah.
So if I don't fix what's going on in their head, I can't fix what's going on out of their head.
Damn,
So we're taking it to the next level, and I'm doing a show that's more about relationships and rescuing relationships. And as soon as I can tell you what it is, believe me, I'll come back. I'll tell you what it is.
Please do.
I'd love to tell nobody more than you guys.
How long you been married now?
I've been too long. No. I say that because my wife Nicole is sitting over there.
There's wife right there, right behind you, Ty. You got to show her now. How you doing? How good is?
John's a great husband. We've been married for 18 years, but together for 22.
For 22. Yeah.
I met her when she was 12. Yeah.
So foreign exchange student. I'm just kidding. No.
You got to get your citizenship. All right. So is he anything at home like he is on TV? Like if the kitchen is dirty, what does he do?
Quietly goes in the living room
and let somebody else clean it. Yeah.
What do you think about? Yeah.
John is nothing like that at home. I mean, he's still John. Believe me, when he wants something done, but he never yells at me. He never. I mean, I'm actually the scary one at home. So I need.
Wow. She levels me. She sort of brings me down.
Yeah, we have a great relationship, and none of that stuff goes on at home, and we're both just respectful of each other, and I think that's the key thing in a relationship.
That's the key
respect.
thing. Be respectful. When the last argument, like the last tiff you guys had? Do you remember?
Last argument?
What was it?
I don't
What was it
even
about?
know.
It was something bullshit for sure.
It's always something just silly, just retired or whatever. Just something. You
She
know.
didn't clean the kitchen, I think, is what it was.
But if you can't remember, that's a pretty good sign, though, right?
Woman. But the point I'm making is, do you think he'll be great at giving relationship advice?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We have a great relationship, and I think experience is the best advice to give to people. Your own experience, your own life experience.
Yeah.
The trick is we're best friends.
Your best friends.
And that's the trick. We travel together all the time. We're together all the time. You can't let miles separate you. And you can't let a disagreement separate you. If we have a disagreement, we got to talk about it. If we don't talk about it, it lives on, man. It never goes away. So conversation is the cure to everything.
Yeah, we never carry a grudge.
Never carry a grudge?
Yeah, that's what I hate about politics today.
Yeah.
We can't talk about stuff because it's not politically correct. But if we don't talk about it, how the hell do we
How
fix
do we
it?
settle?
How do we meet our minds? If we don't exchange how we feel.
Your responses. Say your name again.
Nicole.
Were so perfect. Let me ask you this question: when he brings home the check, who does the check go to?
He hasn't seen our bank in years.
So you handle the money?
Wait, if he walked into our bank right now, they wouldn't know who he was.
Really?
I'm not even sure I know where the accounts are, to be honest with you. I haven't written a check since I've met Nicole.
Nicole, you handle all the money?
Yeah.
She gives me a card every once in a while. I use the card. Yeah, she handles the cash.
That's what's up. I'm not mad at that. Let's practice.
She's in charge of the family jewels, if you know what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
All right. So let's practice, man. We have a lot of citizens who call up on a day-to-day basis, and they're going through everyday things. And maybe we can have some citizens, guys. If you having issues in your relationship, troubles, or it might not even be trouble. You just might want something different out of your relationship. Call us up. Jon Taffer is going to give you some advice. You tell us the scenario, and he'll give you the breakdown. 888-742-3345. Call us now. Yes. Celebrating the 6th season of Bar Rescue, airing Sundays 10 p.m. on the Paramount Network. Jon Taffer is here.
Hey.
I am.
He's here.
How come every time I come to your show, you put me on thin ice? You love to fuck with me.
Absolutely. I want to make sure shit's still sharp and still, John.
There's no easy visit with Sway. It just
Never.
doesn't work that way.
Man, you're so real. I just like throwing different things at you and seeing how consistent that realness is.
We will find out, I guess, and I got no choice.
And John has a new venture coming up.
Yes.
Eventually, he's in the process of developing. We can't give you too much more than that.
Nope.
But the same way he gives business owners advice on how to fix their business, he's going to give people advice on how to fix their relationships. If you have a scenario, call us, 888-742-3345, and here we go. Relationship advice with Jon Taffer. We got Inger on the line from Tennessee. Good morning. How you doing?
Good morning. How you doing?
Doing excellent. Say hello to John.
Hi, Inga.
Hey, John. Hi. How you doing?
Good. How you doing? What do you want to talk about?
Well, John, I'm married to a gentleman. He is 25 years older than me, and I felt with him being 25 years older than me that he would be a responsible man. We have custody of 4 grandkids, and he decided a year ago he was tired and walked out on us. The marriage is over with, but what scares me more is they ready to put me and the kids out in the street because we can't pay the mortgage and stuff no more. And I'm not sure how to handle this.
So
wow.
So he's 25 years older than you. I'm guessing he wasn't very responsible when you married him in the first place, was he?
No, and I found that out later after I had married him.
So I got to be tough on you. Why are you dealing with this 25 years later? Why didn't you deal with this 22 years ago, 23 years ago, 24 years ago? Why didn't you deal with it 10 years ago? So now you've let it go to the point that you're in a terrible spot because you're going to lose everything. So
right, and I can't blame nobody but myself. But when you have custody of kids, you have to be very careful in what you do. And I didn't want to put a strain on the grandkids. They had already went through enough, by us taking custody of them. But him walking out was the big shot to all of us, and it has brought a lot of hardship on us.
So what you got to do is your heart is in the right place. You're all about the grandkids and coming through for the kids. And that's the right thing to do. You've got to reach out to other family members, other people that care about those children like you do. And you got to have somebody step up and take care of those children, because obviously this gentleman is not going to do it for you. And next time, you got to see it coming quicker. You got to react before it's too late. Ahead of it, you can fix it. Behind it, it's a crisis. And I hope that's helpful to you.
Inga, thank you for calling. Thank you for calling, okay?
Inga need a job, John.
You're not making this easy on me, Sway. All right.
I'm not. I got some good ones.
Inga to get a job.
I got some good ones for you. Heather said to get a job, right? Okay, we got Ron from Wisconsin on the line. Ron, what up, Ron?
Hey, Ron.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing okay, Ron. You got to turn your radio down while you talk with us on the radio. Go for it.
Oh, sorry, I got it up too loud.
Yeah, go ahead. Say hello to John. What's your what's going on with your situation?
Hey, John, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Same here.
Got some issues right now. I'm in a great relationship, engaged, loving my life, my fiance, but I got a mother-in-law who tries to overstep her boundaries a little bit. The wedding planning right now, she really wants it to be more like a wedding that she wants it to be a wedding that's like her own wedding, not me and my fiance's wedding. And a lot of times it seems like she wants it to be the relationship that she wants or her, not the relationship that me and my fiance want. And a lot of times when I try to talk to my mother-in-law, my fiance gets a little upset. And my fiance too much wants to make everybody happy and not me and her happy. So I'm trying to figure out, how do I talk to my fiance about that? Because he's a very emotional person. A lot of times the tears just get going too fast.
So let me give you a suggestion. You know, when I got married, Nicole and we got married on our own. We went down to St. Thomas and got married because we chose not to involve our families in it. So, you know, a wedding can be one of two things. You either do it for yourselves or you do it for your family. So if I were you, I would first of all ask my wife, what's important to you? Is this wedding about you and me, or is it about your family? If the wedding is about the family, then commit to that and make the wedding about the family. But here's your problem. You've got a situation that's going to continue after you're married. You're not communicating with your in-laws properly, and there's a bit of a resentment or a feeling that you have about pulling them in. You have to deal with that now, not later. So I would say to my fiance that my relationship with your mom and your family is incredibly important to me. I'm going to marry you. I'm going to be part of that family. Let's sit down. Let's talk about the wedding. Is the wedding for the family or for us? And let's talk about how we can communicate better. Because you're not going to solve it if your fiance won't let you communicate with your mother-in-law. You're only going to solve it if you develop a relationship with your mother-in-law. And your wife can't be an obstacle to that. So you have two challenges. One, you got to make your fiance comfortable enough to let you talk to her mother and open up the right relationship. She needs to know that when you do that, it's for a good cause, not to create more friction. And the second thing you need to do is you need to define what your wedding is going to be. Is it for you or is it for them? And commit to what your fiance wants. Give her the wedding that she wants and set yourself up for the life that you want.
Yo, this dude is good, man.
Yeah.
Yo, you get Ron. Hey, Ron, you hear that, man?
That's perfectly said.
Yeah, man. I agree, Ron. Hey, John, how can people follow you on social media? Because we about to turn off, but people could. Bro, you got Tim from Manitoba, Canada's on the line. Trey from New York, Chris from Virginia, C from North Carolina, Joe from Jersey, Cindy from Texas, Nick from Palm Beach. They all want to talk to you. Can they reach you directly on social?
Yeah, they can reach me at jontaffer.com. And if you send an email to podcast@jontaffer.com, I'll set it up to get them on my podcast, and we'll talk about it.
He has a new podcast as well, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Jon Taffer, No Excuses at Apple Podcast, podcast.com. And it's only my 5th week. I'm having a blast.
Yeah.
You inspired me to do it in many ways.
Say that. For real?
Yes, for real. You know, when I come to do your show, first of all, I have a lot of fun here, and I love you guys. You know that.
Thank you.
But you have a connection with your audience that's really special. And I don't have that through television.
Yeah.
So when I come and I look at you guys and I see the intimacy in it, I want that with my audience
Wow.
too.
That's what's up.
So
man.
so I started this podcast not with a money motivation. I want to talk to people like you do. I want to connect and be a part of their lives as well as their ours. So in very many ways, you've inspired me to do this.
Wow, Jon
And I
Taffer.
think you're so good at it, Sway, and people love you so much because you put your heart out there, and you expose yourselves every day. That's special, man.
Thank you, Jon Taffer, ladies and gentlemen. Good to be. Throw me that hat, Nicole. Go ahead, throw that. Yeah, there you go. Okay, there you go. All right, cool. Podcast 1. Yo, Jon, it's always a wonderful time when you come up here. You
Same
have
here, man.
great energy, and I want the citizens to know, too, that guy you watching on TV, as real as you think he is on TV, he is in real life, okay?
Yeah.
And you give great, excellent advice, man. You didn't stumble a bit on that one. You nailed that one. But like Heather said, Inger need a job, though.
Yeah.
She got to get a job.
Oh, yeah, she got to get real.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she got to get real. Jon, thank you for coming through.
Oh, pleasure, buddy. Anytime.
Anytime, Nicole, thank you for coming by.
Anytime, Heather.
Hey, Nicole, you going to be on the podcast, too?
I'm sure I will at some point. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to corner her ass like you do me. So
Put her on thin ice.
Put on thin ice, all right?
Okay. Spot. That's right.
All right. Also, we got to thank our other guests for coming by. Super Mario for that Friday Fire Cypher, one of the best ones we done ever. TR3 came by, and Bones Brigante for coming by. Checo Spence was our guest. DJ, we want to thank him for coming by. You can hear all of this on SiriusXM.com/
On demand.
or go to Sway's Universe, where you can see all these interviews that we do live, that we do on the show. You can see it on Sway's Universe YouTube channel. DB, how can they reach you, man?
You can reach me everywhere at It's Really DB.
You can check me out on Instagram, OQ Shoots. And don't forget, later today on our sister station, Hip Hop Nation, Juice WRLD is going to be taking over at 5 p.m. Eastern.
All right.
At DJ Wonder everywhere.
Follow me at the Happy Hour WHB Citizens. I'm doing adult ice pops on my Instagram, so follow me at the Happy Hour WHB.
When you say adult ice pops, what does that mean exactly?
do they vibrate?
Absolutely.
One last thing. Today is our intern Andrew's last day.
Oh, Andrew. How was your experience, man?
It was amazing, from special guests to learning so much from OQ managing me, DJ Wonder, DB, from listening to you. And I think the most important thing that I took away was not on air but off air when Heather talked to a caller who she called during the show. And then you just talking to kids, giving them $20 to read. That's the most important thing that I took away from that.
Wow, that's what's up, man.
Thank you, Kelly, too. You're in the corner, but thank you.
Yeah, okay, there you go. You see. So is Jon, is he still brown nosing? He already got the job, man. Is that still brown nosing?
Nah, but I learned that as tough as you try to be, you're a freaking sweetheart, aren't you?
Yeah, yo, that's what I learned about you, Jon Taffer. We have that in common.
We do.
All right?
We do.
Thank you, brother. I'm at Real Sway across the board. Until Monday, ladies and gentlemen, we have nothing left to say.